Nonku finally got the apology she deserves from some of the other ladies, and it was Mrs. Jojo Robinson who set the wheels in motion for that. And as glad as I am about the final outcome, you know I have one or two things to add. So let me clear my throat so we can have a chat about Jojo's apology to Nonku. Following Jochela and Nonku storming out of the party after an argument with some of the ladies over the drinking issue, Jojo realized that Nonku had been wrongfully branded as an alcoholic, as well as being unfairly judged and ganged up on by the other ladies. In response to her feelings of remorse, Jojo met in person with Nonku to personally apologize for her actions. But not only that, she addressed the matter again in front of the ladies to inform them that she had apologized to Nonku and to call for the entire group to lay the matter to rest finally. One thing I love is a person who is willing to assess their conduct and take accountability for their actions and then apologize. I especially like that Jojo made her apology to Nonku public in front of the other ladies, because I am personally of the view that if you will humiliate a person publicly, then when you humble yourself to them, do so publicly as well. If you do the damage in front of an audience, then make amends in front of an audience too. Capiche? It's very easy for one to get lost in groupthink and to get swayed by the commonly held perceptions and opinions of the masses in the group. But the majority is not always right. And for one to be able to come out of the herd and make one's own assessments, reaching one's own conclusions on the basis of one's own personal knowledge, standards, principles, and convictions, is evidence of a person who can stand in their truth and has critical thinking skills and a strong will. For that, I say kudos to Jojo. However, if you're going to do something right, do it all the way right. And as such, I have a bone of contention with the fact that Jojo retracted her statements towards Nonku without having prior informed all the other ladies that she was planning on doing so, especially Londi London, because it was Jojo who roped a reluctant Londi into having that intervention with Nonku about her supposed drinking problems. And that did not end well, with Nonku and Londi ending up having a screaming match in Jojo's kitchen. So I think it would only have been fair for Jojo to inform Londi first, even before Sarisha, about the fact that she'd had a change of heart about Nonku's drinking, and then inform Londi that she was planning on apologizing to Nonku, and then suggesting to Londi that she should do the same. You can't establish a truce with Nonku at the expense of your good relations with Londi. It's not a good look, because it just comes across as though Jojo was playing the two ladies off against each other. And I would like to believe that that's not what she was doing. But I don't know, it just looks shady, and I know chess moves when I see them. Secondly, I also want to address Mrs. Jojo crying while she was apologizing to Miss Nonku during their meet-up at the tattoo parlor. See, the thing about crying while apologizing, generally speaking, is that it can sometimes appear insincere. And sometimes a tearful apology may be employed as a tactic for emotional manipulation, where a person deflects taking full responsibility for their transgression, or even avoids being confronted about it by becoming overly emotional whilst apologizing, either by crying or kneeling down or any other dramatic display of emotion while they apologize. So the focus then becomes the transgressor's own emotions rather than their transgressions and accounting for them. And then all the comforting and consoling that should be going to the injured or aggrieved party is now diverted to the wrongdoer. And in that way, he or she avoids actually giving an apology. But man, some people are just emotional and everything needs to be assessed on a case-by-case basis. Therefore, in assessing Jojo's apology this past episode, despite the tears, she did genuinely express regret. She owned up to her wrong actions. She made amends by addressing and laying the issue to rest with the other ladies. And then she reaffirmed boundaries with Nonku by promising not to discuss the issue of her drinking again in future. So from this we can deduce that she was sincere in her apology. So she was probably just crying from the pain of her new tattoo. Right? Now that that's all laid to rest, I do think that the whole Nonku drinking alcohol problem plotline was intentionally placed by production in order to have a running narrative arc that all the ladies could in some way get involved in, and which would create the drama and conflict that keeps the audiences coming back bekele beke. The argument at Jochela was the big climax, and now this apology is the resolution or the denouement. And I am thrilled that production ended this particular plotline on a high point and positive note, where Nonku was, in the end, vindicated. Like I said in a previous video, I respect that the production team of the show is not entertaining us merely by being messy, but rather they appear to dignify the public images and protect the public perceptions of cast members as much as they are able to. To that, I tip my hat. I'm interested to find out how many people really believed that the Nonku alcoholism storyline was a real fight within the group, and how many people got a sense that it was perhaps scripted. Let me know in the comments if production got you, or if you have been watching enough reality TV to smell a script when you see one. Leave it in the comments. I love the chats that we have up in there. And then come back as I give you some more commentary on the Real Housewives of Durban Season 2. My name's Awanda Zwane. You're watching If I Start to Talk. Do not forget to like this video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then come back for the next video. Until then, have an awesome day.